doing?
Hi, good. How
Very
are you,
good.
Sharonda?
I'm doing good. Y'all look so nice. The day before this. Okay. Y'all better slay today. But look, one of my first questions that I have for the both of you is you both do such a fantastic job of making me laugh on every single episode. But I wanted to know for you, like, what do you do to boost your spirits? What do you do to cheer yourselves up?
Like
Interesting.
on set or just in life?
You get life set is your world, okay? I'm living in it.
I think anytime I ever have to interact with Kevin, it's a good time. I mean, even if it's just a text message, it's like Kevin is gonna come with a pun, a joke, like it's always a good time.
No, come on, Z. You did one thing in particular for this season with Andrea all the time. What did you do?
I totally forgot. Okay, every single weekend, Andrea and I, who Andrea plays Lucy, we went to a different bakery in Vancouver because I was on a search for the perfect almond croissant.
Did you find it though? Because now I'm invested.
Yeah.
I did not find the perfect almond croissant, but I found the perfect French baguette. And you don't even think a baguette could be perfect.
Okay.
But I found it.
I ran into her walking around Vancouver because for me it was walking around Stanley Park or something. My wife and I would go for walks. I ran into her and Andrea on their like quest several times, and in running across them, I'd be like, "Awesome, where are you guys going?" And then it would be like they would tell me of where they were going, what they were trying, and it was very much implied that I was not invited. It was very much a separate quest that did not involve me.
Wow, you left Kevin out.
Walk fast.
Left me out, and rightfully so. I would not have enjoyed the baked goods as much as them. They could compare and contrast. You don't want to just bring a newcomer in midway through. You don't want that.
I'm about to say that's so disrespectful. I can't believe I did that. But also too, I mean, I like that this show really pushes you to think about like living life to the fullest and what you would do to make sure that your life was a purpose and that you did everything that you wanted to do. And I wanted to know for the both of you, like, how was participating in this series challenge you to live your lives to the fullest, like really doing whatever you want to do?
I don't do whatever I want to do, Sharonda, because there is a such thing as jail. No, I'm kidding.
Within reason.
No, it is a good question because the second season we shot during COVID, and as much fun as we had first season, you kind of take the ease of being on a production set. You kind of take that for granted when you have to do it during a pandemic, which is why I went on my bakery runs because you just don't even know. The next day is so unpredictable. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna go on set and do my job. When I'm not on set, I'm going to figure out a way to like make this day purposeful. Like I'm gonna talk to my family. I'm gonna talk to my friends more. I did that way more in this past 2 years than I have ever done, like just sitting on the phone talking with people. So because you never know, and unfortunately right now we don't have the ability to upload. So
I think for me it's the irony for me being that I play a character that loves the tech around him, but I've become increasingly more, not paranoid, I'm not that level, but just concerned with like my own screen time, like things like that, where it's like I'm just kind of diving into, specifically with things like Instagram and this like, this form of connection. And then part of me just wants to like get rid of it, get it all out of here. But at the same time, you can't unring the bell personally. I went on this hike recently and I've tried to get out in nature as much as I can. And I went on this 10-mile hike, and it was like up in Ojai in this beautiful canyon. And I was like, I'm away from it. I was taking a couple pictures or whatever, but I felt really good to be without it. And then I get to the end, which is this beautiful waterfall, and there's like a bachelorette party, and they're like taking all these videos, and they're like, whee! It's just like a great just sign of like, this is unavoidable. No matter what your relationship with it is, like, it's out in the world. It is unavoidable to a certain degree, and you kind of have to just acknowledge it and accept it and move on to a degree. You can and you can judge like your own personal relationship with it and build off of that. But there's no like getting rid of it or getting off the grid, especially if you're on a television show.
Well, look, I just want to thank the both of you for taking time out of your day to speak to me. I am claiming more nature walks. I am claiming the best almond croissant ever, and that Kevin's going to be included on that journey. This is going to happen. It's done. I am sending so much love and light both of your ways, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Your weight. Hi, how are both of you doing today?
We're good. How are you?
I'm Sharonda.
I'm doing good. I just needed season 2 in my life. I needed to have another happy binge. So I just want to thank y'all for that, because I needed it so desperately.
Well, we need Sharonda, so.
We did it for you. Happy birthday, Sharonda.
That's right. You're welcome.
Seen and loved. Thank you. But one of the first questions that I wanted to ask you is, I always find it so fascinating with these characters that a lot of them spend so much time focusing on their flaws of who they used to be instead of celebrating the good things that make them who they are. And so I wanted to know for you, like, how do you make sure that you are loving on yourself and celebrating everything that makes you you?
Well, my character Lucy, the best things about her are how myopic and sort of stupid she is, and power hungry she is. So she really leans into that, and she thinks that those are her best qualities. She thinks she knows everything. She really doesn't know much, except for like, I love how sneaky she is. She's a very sneaky lady, and she's very horny. So she does lean into that horniness and that sneakiness, and that I do appreciate, because she has a special thing for like hot men in the shower, and who doesn't? I don't think there's enough of that on TV. Women being lecherous towards men, and I'm happy to play it. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to watch it.
That I'm here for men in the shower. I think that's great. Let's normalize that. I think for Ivan, this is a guy who maybe loves himself a little too much and needs a little bit of truth in his life. To me, he represents who I would have been if I just never left college. That college self who's just like, doesn't really care. There's kind of food everywhere. There's random assortments of like video games, movies, and weaponry on the walls. So he needs a touch of reality. But me as a person, I really, and Andrea's heard this before, I really take to dancing. Like, that's kind of my thing. That's how I love on myself, is I will just put on either like salsa, bachata, or swing, and I will just dance around my house. It's also something I do before I act. I like to dance around the set. Don't tell people that, but I mean, that's the truth. That's how I get to know it. I shouldn't be telling you all this. Anyway, yeah, that's my thing.
Okay, we gotta find a salsa class or something to go to.
Right, let's go, girl.
But I mean, also too, this show makes me really think about the afterlife. I did get low-key like depressed, like what is gonna happen to me when I die? But I mean, I wonder, working on this series, has this made you like think about more about the afterlife, or has it even reshaped some of the views that you might have had?
I don't know if it's made me think more about the afterlife, but it has made me think more about like vacations I want to take while I'm in this life, because like, the afterlife in the show is such a vacation to me. You know what I mean? Like, the food is amazing. It's so beautiful. They can get massages, like they can do all sorts of fancy, luxurious things. So I'm like, I'm here on Earth right now. Maybe I should be like, going more places. So it has made me want to create my heaven on earth.
I love
mean, I used to think that like I definitely was raised thinking that, you know, heaven was a place you go and like all your family's there and like all your old pets are just chilling waiting for you to come up, and there's like tapas, and you know, it's like a taco truck. But you know what I found out in, you know, thinking about this and going through this series is just like not all your family is that cool that you want to be spending eternity with them, you know, like the uncle that's got like toothpicks constantly. If I know I have one, and I'm not entirely sure I want to spend eternity with that guy. Like he's a good dude. Yeah, that's so I'm kind of like, I wonder now, who would I pick and choose for my dream team? Who's the dream team I'm going to take with me? I have a couple of dogs so far, and I'm working on people.
Don't start no fights with the family now when they find out what the lineup is, okay?
All the tea is coming out tonight, Shonda.
Okay.
This
Well,
is
look,
happening.
I appreciate the both of you speaking with me. I am sending so much love and light your way. We are going to create a heaven on earth so we can vacation, okay?
Yes.
And get rid of the uncle with the toothpicks.
Yes, please.
I'm just sending love and light your way, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, Sharonda.
Appreciate you, Sharonda.
I'm gonna miss y'all. Bye.
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 How are all of you doing today?
Hey,
Sharonda,
doing
look
great.
at your nails.
Yeah,
Oh my
those
goodness.
are fierce.
Someone honked at me on the highway yesterday. I was like, what are they honking at me for? He was like, your nails. And I was like, thank you.
That's awesome.
I just want to say that the three of you caused me so much joy and stress at the same time while watching upload. I just want to thank you for the emotional journey you have taken me on these 2 seasons. I just love it. I love it
You're
so much.
welcome.
Happy to happy to help.
I love it.
But you know, one of the questions that I have for the three of you it seems like some of the characters, they're so focused on their past and the mistakes that they made that they kind of don't see the progress that they have made, that the things that make them a good person, the traits that they already have. And I wanted to know for you, how do you make sure that you're celebrating, you know, everything that makes you you, all of the good things? How do you show some love for yourself?
Oh,
I think-
like us personally?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
How sweet.
I think it's important to have good friends. I think it's always tough to look inside and give yourself kind of a pat on the back. But if you have the right friends who are going to lift you up and say, that was awesome, you're doing great, I think that's really important. And I think as I've gotten older, it's been clearer and clearer who those people are in my life, whether it's family or friends. I think it's super important. And I think COVID has made it that much more important to have people like that in your life.
That's a good answer. I think my husband and I, when we get to have dinner together, we will ask each other, okay, give me one rose from the day and one thorn from the day. And it forces you to look at what could have gone differently or what you might have wanted to adjust, and then also to express gratitude vocally and to acknowledge any tiny victory. And then you just get into a practice and a daily habit of acknowledging the tiny victories, which they add up over time,
I love that. And I think definitely having the right people around you that can ask you those things. I think very, very often, and especially in this culture that's very much about hustle and grind and like, what's the thing, what you doing, like, let's go, productivity over anything. And so often, we forget, how far we've come. So I think having people that remind you, but also even in those moments where you're not productive, allowing yourself to rest. And I think for me, that's been a big lesson in stopping. And it's okay to not be productive. It's okay to take a rest day, and a rest day is actually more productive than a day where you're grinding, like that. They're neck and neck. And having gratitude for all of it, for every single moment, knowing that, it's all part of the process, and trusting that. So gratitude lists are big for me. Meditation is big for me, and just having a trust that no matter what, whether it's good or bad, it's all leading towards the same goal.
You better give me some words of wisdom today.
That was a great question.
I mean, but also too, I love that, watching the series, it makes you want to, like, what can I do to really be living my life to the fullest now, instead of feeling like I missed out on something that I could have done better. And I want to know, for all of you, like, after working on these 2 seasons, how has this changed how you're going to live life to the fullest?
For me, I mean, living life to the fullest, I got to go back to, taking time to appreciate how, like, the life that I have, and not always jumping to the next thing. And, ask yourself, especially now, we're still in a pandemic, but having gone through lockdowns and stuff, it's like, why do we work so hard? And I think, we work hard to afford ourselves a life of joy. And for this show, and Nora and has really taught me of, like, I want to live a life of joy. I want to live a life of purpose. And for me, that means traveling, and as much as I can in the world that we live in now, and getting to experience, because more than anything, what I've learned from this show, from Nora, and the world that we currently live in, is experiences, human interaction is so valuable than accomplishments.
I think, just the practice of making, or the process rather, of making season 2 was a valuable instructor in this, for this question, because I was in my apartment with my cat in Vancouver, sometimes for like 9 days at a time, because Ingrid isn't necessarily in every scene, like some of my castmates here, or like Owen is. And because it was pre-vaccine Vancouver, and we were, following COVID protocols pretty strictly, if I was at work, I was seeing other people and connecting and feeling more like myself. And when I wasn't, it was me and the wall and the senile cat. And so all that is to say, it changed my mindset about going to work from I have to do this today to I get to do this today. And if you approach your life more with an I get to do this, this is a privilege, In-N-Out Burger is a privilege, my dishwasher is a privilege, that's a paradigm shift for sure.
I wanted upload. I wanted the show so bad. Before I even read the script, I wanted a half-hour comedy on a streaming network with a great producer, and then Upload showed up. So I will not take a day of that show for granted. I love it. I hope that it runs for 10 years, as long as Greg's involved. I love the cast and the crew, and it's a total dream project. So it's funny that shooting this project, the actual idea that it's about the afterlife or about life to its fullest actually has nothing to do with what I've learned from getting to shoot it. It just has to do with it being a great project with great people and something that I love to get up and go to work and shoot. So I guess that's a half answer.
Look, it's a good answer, okay? I just want to thank all of you for taking time to speak with me. I will lead the petition for 15 million seasons of Upload because it makes me happy to watch it. I'm just sitting in love and light all of your ways, and I really hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rhonda. You too.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Sharonda?
I am doing good because you have given me a show that just puts a smile on my face, and it just gives me a fun binge. So I just wanted to thank you first.
Good. I'm so happy you like it.
One of the questions that I have for you is, I want to know, like, how is creating this series, how has it changed how you live life to the fullest in the now?
Well, it's a weird question because it kind of hit at the same time as the pandemic. You know what I mean? So so we're doing all this really interesting, imaginative stuff about what the future is going to be like and how technology can be used for good or for evil and all this stuff. then as it's happening, the world's getting smaller and smaller, you know, and we're on Zoom constantly. So I don't know. It's been pretty weird. But I guess, you know, I'm just very grateful to be able to do something with fun people and be creative and, you know, get an opportunity to make TV. You know, that's kind of what I've been doing for many years, but I guess I realized that it's such a treat to be able to continue to do it, and I shouldn't take it for granted.
That. I mean, but also too with our characters in this season, it's like sometimes they focus too much on how bad they used to be instead of celebrating how good they become, like kind of these good qualities about themselves. Can you give a little bit more background of including that? Because it's really relatable to what we do to ourselves each day.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I'm not exactly sure which part you're responding to. I mean, I think that for the character of Nathan, he feels a lot of guilt, and this, and you know, he feels very guilty that he couldn't communicate with Nora, and that she doesn't know where she is, and then his old girlfriend uploaded for him, and so he's got a whole arc of having to process that and get over that. And you know, part of the concept is if you could digitally extend your life, what are you going to do with that extra time? Are you just going to continue to do exactly what you've been doing, or hopefully you're going to be able to use your second chance to kind of figure it out and improve as a person? And so, like, Ingrid's got that opportunity. And then, you know, Nora is sort of getting over a lot of trauma that she had with her mom and also with her dad's health problems, and she tried to trust him again, and she didn't pursue her education because of the medical bills and stuff, and so she's sort of finding a way to still be a leader, but she's coming to it on her own pace, and she's kind of examining the philosophies of the protest Lud movement and trying to figure out what she agrees with, what she doesn't agree with. And yeah, so that's an arc. And it's the arcs that we've kind of discussed with the actors and the writers in preparing for it. And, you know, you kind of weigh everything and go, well, that'd be juicy. Let's follow that.
But also to, you know, mixing in this like lighthearted, funny show, there's like this mystery like underlying everything that's happening. And I really wanted you to talk about, like, you just weaved it in just so elegantly. It just flows. And I'm just like, I'm laughing, but like, I need to know about this mystery. What happened? What was the process for that?
Well, thank you. It is very difficult. We talk about in the writer's room, we talk about the mystery onion, that like you have to keep peeling it off and trying to get further and further into it. And it means you have to shoot down a lot of ideas, because you'll come up with something and then you'll realize, oh, wait a minute, that contradicts this other thing that we did. And even though it might be cool, you can't use it. So there's a lot of, you know, it really requires a supercomputer to figure out.
Well, look, I don't even know how you created this whole world, because everything is just so cool. And then it just has me thinking about the afterlife. What am I going to do with my life? I just thank you for challenging my brain to think while laughing at the same time. Yeah, we have a good time trying to figure it all out ourselves while we're making it. And obviously it uses a lot of the creativity of an awful lot of people, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Look, I just needed to be on for like 15 million seasons. That's all I'm asking from you. Sounds good. Yeah, right into Amazon. Thank you. I'm gonna do that. But I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm just sending love and light your way. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. I also have a couple other projects I'd like to just tell you about. I have this reality show called My Mom, Your Dad on HBO Max with my daughter. And there's a show called Space Force that's coming out on Friday too. Yes, I am ready for Space Force season 2. Okay. And I'm going to check out the project with your daughter. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, I hope you like it. Yeah, it's Yvonne Orji is the host. Thank you so much. Bye. Thanks. Bye.